Good evening and welcome to the evening news on My Media Prime Television live from Fengudromange in Douala, the economic capital of the country. My name is Gienda Peldrin Blanche King. Today is yet another black day in Cameroon after an accident that consumed or ended the lives of over 12 persons. Were again crying for over 50 people who've been declared dead and 29 others severely injured following a head-on collision between a tank truck and a 70-seater interurban bus. The accidents that claimed the lives of over 50 people happened in the early hours of today. Reports say the tank truck was closely followed by gendarmes and custom officials, all nowhere to be found. Details in the following report compiled by Audrey Satsa.
Accident that has claimed the lives of 53 persons with 29 severely injured occurred in the early hours of this morning at the Chang Sancho Hill Minwa Division and was as a result of the shock from a collision between a tank truck and the Minwa Voyage 70-seater bus. Following the violent shock, fire engulfed the scene of the tragedy where many have been burned to ashes, preventing first aid from intervening. According to Governor of the West Region, Awa Augustine, the injured are seriously burnt and the truck carrying gasoline had a braking fault. Sources equally say the tank truck was being escorted by some gendarme and custom officials driving on high speed who are presently nowhere to be found. Here is a list of passengers of the 70-seater bus and 29 survivors, including 4-month-old child presently admitted at the Chang District Hospital. This is not the first time that a fatal accident is being recorded on the Chang Sancho Hill. Remember, on Friday 30th, 2019, where 3 people lost their lives in this same spot due to a collision between a taxi and a semi-trailer. The fatal accident this morning adds to a series of accidents recorded since the start of this year. This situation again calls for the vigilance of drivers and road users.
Relative calm has returned to Azira New Church Junction and commuters are going about their daily activities following 2 loud explosions earlier this morning. Denizes say 2 locally fabricated explosives exploded in the early hours of today. Details with Fonquinta.
It was about 7:15 a.m. on Wednesday, January 27, 2021, the denizens of Azirinew Church Junction, a precinct in Bamenda Northwest region of Cameroon, say they heard 2 loud explosions.
I
was walking towards Atuakom Junction together with the kids who were heading to school.
All of a sudden I hear a sound.
Suddenly I heard a loud sound about 150 kilometers from where I was. Upon hearing the sound, I rushed back home and later discovered it was an explosion and it exploded around the school. In the early hours of today, residents say they heard 2 loud explosions which left many in shock. I was preparing the kids for school this morning and heard a loud explosion. The moment I stepped out to know what is happening, another one exploded. I'm just grateful pupils and students were not around. An eyewitness say the local explosive was placed under a small bridge and when it exploded, his house trembled.
The
bomb was placed under a bridge and when it exploded, my house trembled. The explosion left many panicking, including children set for school. Finally, I did not send my kids to school. Though no casualties were recorded, sources around where the explosive was kept say the sound was terrifying.
Reports from the south region of the country confirms mother and child have been consumed in a fire incident which reduced their house to ashes. The incident happened yesterday. What led to this fire incident is what Gladys Bomotongina tells us in the report that follows.
C'est au petit matin de mardi qu'un incendie a emporté la vie d'une mère et de son enfant a été observé dans la ville de Kribi. Incident probablement causé par une bouteille de gaz qui aurait explosé en laissant le père de cette famille dans une situation inconsolable. Le voisinage n'en a eu effet du drame que trop tard, après que les flammes aient dévoré toute la maison. Dépourvues de force, elles ont été obligées de faire appel aux autorités compétentes pour arriver à stopper le brasier.
Je pense que c'est depuis 7 heures ce matin que j'ai été informé. Alors que je m'apprêtais à me rendre au boulot, j'ai été signalé par mon fils qui vient vers moi et me dit « Papa, il y a un incendie grave qui se passe pas loin de la maison ». Très immédiatement, je me suis rendu sur le lieu. J'ai trouvé que la situation avait pris des proportions très élevées et le feu était inutilisable. J'ai essayé rapidement d'être en contact avec le sapeur-pompier. J'ai appelé le maire de la ville, j'ai appelé le maire de deuxième. Puis je suis venu sur le terrain. Grâce à l'intervention forte de la population, nous avons tout au moins réussi à maîtriser à notre niveau. Et il a fallu l'intervention des sapeurs-pompiers qui n'ont pas tardé à arriver sur le lieu. Et je crois que peu à peu, ils ont réussi à maîtriser la situation.
Malgré l'intervention prompte des sapeurs-pompiers, rien n'a pu être sauvé dans la maison, ni la mère, ni l'enfant, et encore moins le mobilier. C'est une tragédie qui vient s'ajouter à la liste de nombreux autres observés dans le pays depuis le début de ce mois de janvier 2021.
A new book titled Impactitude Spirit, written by Roland Kmer, has been launched. The book, prefaced by André Siaka, seeks to help managers reinvent themselves, as Lasha Kinsley tells us in the following report.
A new book titled Impactitude Spirit has been launched. The 189-page document, authored by Roland Kmer, 2010 JCI President and CEO of Go Ahead Africa Limited, seeks to help managers reinvent themselves.
It's time to come now with a book that we did essential on motivation that will help the leaders, the professionals to try to change the mindset and to reinvent themselves.
The book focuses essentially on 3 aspects of human life: aptitude, attitude, and action, as the author explains further.
Develop 3 aspects in the book. The first one is aptitude. I mean, in terms of competency, skills. What are the skills that we need in order to be performant? The second one is attitude. What is the mindset, the right mindset and the behavior that we need to develop if we want to succeed in life? And the last one, action. What are the actions that we need to put in place? And then we came also with a matrix that can help to follow up our day-to-day activities.
The book will also serve as a source of inspiration to many Cameroonians who are going through a lot in the country right now.
It's a book that I can say it's a handbook. It's very practical for those who know my mindset and the way I work. And also it's going to be also very easy to read. It's going to be an inspirational document when we know that we are going through a lot of challenges. We have COVID-19, we have crisis. I think more and more people are doubting about their future, and I really hope that this book is an answer that can help someone who has that to, in less than 2 minutes, to read something.
Impactitude Spirit, prefaced by André Siaka, one of the most successful managers in Africa, is the second publication of Roland Kmer after the impact of one.
News of a young man who allegedly abused some kids sexually, and a viral video bearing a minor narrate his sad experience has raised eyebrows and brought to question what accounts for this act and what can be done. Though there are many reasons why perpetrators indulge in acts like these, health experts suggest a mental disorder could be a key reason which is not given much attention. Details in the following report. Few months after a reported case of minors sexually abused by an adult, disturbing videos of another child recounting her story in tears has shocked many. She narrates her ordeal to her parents, how she was sexually abused in school by her teacher.
Quand elle t'amène aux toilettes là, elle te dit quoi pour t'amener aux toilettes? Qui te dit, ta copine ou ta maîtresse? Après faire comment? Et après faire comment? Mets le doigt dans tes fesses. Et quand elle t'amène comme ça, tu es seule.
Looking through possible reasons why adults will by choice defile a minor, health experts say pedophilia is a possible explanation to this act. Dr. Fon Elizabeth is a life coach and a health personnel.
Pedophilia is a mental illness that happens to people, adults, who want to have sexual intercourse or sexual touching, caresses with young people, with young children. That is pedophilia. It used to be a phenomenon that was so rare, maybe underreported in our community, but now with the advent of social media and people who are able to talk, maybe you are breaking the silence, people are talking more and more about it.
Though there is no justification to this act that discredits childhood and humanity, experts say establishing firm parental relationships with minors will further expose this ill and subject pedophiles to accepting the wrong in their actions.
Educating our children, parents have to educate their children to realize that their private parts are private. Nobody should touch their private parts. And when children are big enough to bathe themselves, they should be taught how to bathe themselves, how to clean their private parts, and they should stay private, only with them. They should not allow anybody to touch their private parts. The parents at that time should just supervise when they are bathing.
Though many other reasons account for the rise in child abuse, many hold that this is a wake-up call for stricter sanctions against perpetrators. The sanctions should be adopted and effectively implemented, calling on vigilance from guardians and parents. You're watching for 6:30 Prime News on my Media Prime. 59 information communication technicians have successfully graduated from King Black Welfare Foundation as the 11th batch of students to graduate from the institution since creation in 2008. This foundation has since 2008 recorded a number of bright projects empowering the youth and fostering a nation building. Kumar Norimbo tells us more.
King Black Welfare Foundation have successfully sent out 59 information communication technicians as the 11th batch of students to graduate from the institution, welcoming parents, teachers, graduates, and partners. The CEO of King Black Welfare Foundation, Nungang Clement Del Varia, stated that the 11th batch of graduates is a unique one, taking into consideration that for the very first time, the institution is graduating its pioneer batch of project and human resource managers, the fruits of a successful partnership signed in January 2020 with the Association of Business Executives in the United Kingdom.
And what makes the ABE trainees different is the fact that their certificates or diplomas come directly from London and have a global recognition because ABE diplomas are recognized worldwide. It's not like other diplomas that maybe when you take to another country, they'll need to find its equivalence. Even right here in Cameroon, we have a letter from the Minister of Higher Education recognizing ABE diplomas, in Cameroon.
On his part, the representative of the Honorable Member of Parliament for Fako East constituency, Charles Eyum Sama, called on the graduates to be innovative, trustworthy, and responsible wherever they find themselves. He urged them to equip themselves with profitable skills to gain self-employment and why not become job creators. In the same line, the representative of the Divisional Delegate for Employment and Vocational Training for Fako called on the graduates never to stop learning, as learning is an ongoing process. He assured them of the support of his ministry to assist them in their future careers. On behalf of the graduates, Nabila Welisani thanked parents and teachers for creating an enabling environment for them to study.
As a leader, as a statesman, I love to know how to manage projects, also to manage people. That's why I had to go in for the human resource and project management. The next step is crisis management, because if you blend those three, it makes you a good leader, it makes you a good statesman.
Since its creation in 2008, King Black Welfare Foundation has trained over 2,000 Cameroonians from all walks of life, created over 900 jobs, and provided scholarships to the less privileged in the society.
A network of churches under the umbrella Dynamic Ministers Conference have elected new executive members to champion spiritual activities in Kumba, fully calling on God to intervene in Cameroon in the face of the socio-political and health crisis plaguing the country. Tamfu Sidwan Dimbie has details.
The Dynamic Ministers' Council has a new executive bureau formed during an elective assembly held on Friday, 22nd January 2021 in Kumba, Cameroon, with Reverend Dr. Mbonte Prince Will elected new president to serve a mandate of 3 years, renewable once. The event, which brought together different denominations of churches in Kumba, was aimed at preaching and worshiping God in unity and love. The new executive was installed by Reverend Pastor Charles Eno, who called on them to continue to keep the flame of love amongst churches, stay away from hatred and division as they serve one God. The Dynamic Ministers Conference was created in Kumba when the city of Kumba was dedicated to God on the 30th of May 2020. The initiative came when God spoke to the hearts of young ministers of the gospel to join together to save Kumba from demonic altars. Addressing Christians after the installation, the President, Reverend Dr. Prince Will Mbonte, thanked members of the Dynamic Ministers Council and says they must work together to ensure that Kumba is safe from demonic activities.
Not by looking at the flesh, but the unity of the heart. We stand to declare and decree the light of God will shine in the city of Kumba.
As a surprise during the installation, the president was presented a brand new Jeep as a present from members of the Dynamic Ministers Council.
This is a great surprise.
Receiving the gift, the new president expressed joy and called on the council to continue to promote the goodness of God Almighty.
And I give God the glory while I say big thank you to the executive and the members.
The ceremony ended with prayers for peace in the city of Kumba, while the Dynamic Ministers Council plans to extend its activities to other towns of Cameroon.
On our feature page, business persons around the Bepanda Omnisport Stadium, together with other city dwellers here in Douala, have expressed mixed feelings towards the flow of economic activities amidst the ongoing African Nations Championship competitions. Our reporter, Darling Gonde, visited them to get their views or their opinions about the flow of economic activities. She compiled the following.
With 3 main cities playing host to the ongoing Total African Nations Championship in Cameroon, 1 week plus into the games, economic activities in the main hub for the competitions, Douala, is focused in this report. This is the heart of the economic capital of Cameroon, painted with football colors, but at sightseeing, a minimal display of commercial buzz like it were in an ordinary season. A city harboring 2 out of the 4 selected stadia hosting the games is expected for a steam in economic activities. From the touristic to the transport, the leisure, the hospitable, food and brewery services visited, the remarks on the flow of business activities is dual-sided.
J'ai essayé de venir vendre à côté du stade et de prendre Omnisport, croyant que non, je pouvais avoir bien la recette. Mais je vois que c'était mieux l'année passée par rapport à maintenant. Je ne vois pas les différences.
Actually, I don't own any business around. Yeah, but I can say, with the look of things, the way I'm seeing things, business is moving.
The cause to the slow turnovers, the city dweller suggests.
Oui, les causes, ce qui peut faire que les activités ne marchent pas. Nous n'allons pas ignorer que la crise anglophone. La crise anglophone est d'abord le facteur premier. Il y a le problème de la crise anglophone qui est déjà là,
est très calme, surtout la base, il n'y a pas de business attractif pour voir le match. Par exemple, il n'y a pas de visiteurs, c'est pas intéressant. Pour les stades, il n'y a pas pour ce qu'on a dans notre pays, donc il n'y a pas de business.
However, as it is, not every side of the coin carries the horn.
I am here at the entrance of the start. We are here to do selling of food. And as the camp started, the business it has increased a bit because the day that football is going on, we have so much customers, but days that ball is not, et customer are less.
Talking of Cameroon with some anonymous sources, it's been revealed that the reason why the expectations of the decrying business persons haven't been met is as a result of the high tariffs demanded of them in order to sell within the premises of the stadiums. And to these outdoor soya sellers, this is how frustrated they feel about the situation.
I'm not happy. I'm not happy how I'm saying. But where I come from, I've lost many brother and sister. I find myself here doing this business just because I want to do this. The business go too slow, but we're trying.
I've been trying with my business here in this town, but we are just trying to survive in life.
Meanwhile, for the youths around the stadium, there is so much dissatisfaction as many opportunities have bypassed them.
Ma bataille est que les jeunes du quartier puissent progresser et que chacun trouve un emploi. C'est ça mon véritable problème. Et il est inadmissible que nous sommes les jeunes du quartier, nous avons payé le prix pour ce quartier. Et on se retrouve aujourd'hui avec des personnes qui quittent d'ailleurs, qui viennent trouver du travail dans notre propre quartier, étant donné qu'au départ, on lance le recrutement à partir des bonanjos. Et beaucoup de jeunes, ce sont des jeunes qui sortent d'ailleurs. La majorité des jeunes du quartier sont en chômage dans notre propre terrain.
And to this Cameroonian, the most annoying aspect is the augmentation of beer prices, especially on days when matches are being played. However, although some are making huge wins and others are not, many still believe that before the end of the games, their coffers will definitely swell up.
Nora Kakebi took note of some striking news stories around other countries in Africa.
The United States has today asked all soldiers from Eritrea to leave Ethiopia's embattled Tigray region. This statement reflected new pressure by President Joe Biden's administration on the government of Ethiopia, which is the Anglophone of Africa. It still remains unclear how many Eritrean soldiers are in Tigray or precisely where they are. It should be noted that Eritreans have been fighting on the side of Ethiopian forces as they pursue fugitive leaders of the Tigray region, though Ethiopia's government has denied their presence. Witnesses who fled the Tigray region said Eritrean troops were going house to house, killing young men, looting and acting like local authorities. Ethiopia's government has rejected dialogue with the former Tigray leaders, seeing them as illegitimate, and has appointed an interim administration. Meanwhile, in Mozambique, a tropical cyclone that struck the central part of the country last week has affected more people. According to a UN official, there is a sharp increase over the initial estimates. The UN resident coordinator in Mozambique said, yesterday 170,000 people were affected, but today the official numbers have climbed to 250,000. He added that 76 health centers and hundreds of classrooms were damaged. The official says widespread floods can still be seen and a lot of people still trying to get out of the flooded areas. An international aid group has warned that crowded centers for storm survivors created ideal conditions for the coronavirus to spread. Still on the African continent, Nigeria has seized pangolin scales and tusks, as well as bones from endangered species, allegedly bound for export to Vietnam. Pangolin scales are traditionally used in China for a range of ailments, including treating blood clots. Although there is no scientific evidence, they have a medical value. The Nigerian items concealed in a container as furniture materials were intercepted by customs at the Apapa port in Lagos. The items falsely declared as furniture comprised 162 sacks of pangolin scales and 57 sacks of mixed endangered species of various sizes. Pangolins are believed to be the world's most trafficked mammal, and Nigeria has made huge seizures of illegal animal parts in recent years, in line with the Convention of International Trade in Endangered Species.
Thanks, Nora Kakebi. Etape Content has sports updates packaged in the French language.
Le Maroc explose l'Ouganda en battant ce dernier avec 5-2 hier soir au stade de la réunification de Douala dans le cadre de la 3e journée du groupe C du championnat d'Afrique des Nations Cameroun 2020. Les Lions de l'Altas étaient peu rassurants au début de la compétition, bien que dominants dans la poule C avec 4 points. L'Ouganda ouvre le score à la 25e minute du jeu par un coup franc côté droit bien exploité par Ibrahim Ourid qui profite d'un cafouillage dans la défense marocaine pour faire bouger les fonds du filet du portier Anas Nziti. Touchés par l'orgueil des crânes de l'Ouganda, les Marocains vont tenter de réagir en trouvant le chemin des filets du camp adverse sur un pénalty marqué par le capitaine El Kabi vers la fin de la première période à moins 4 minutes. Du retour des vestiaires, les Lions d'Altas rugissent et marquent leur deuxième but à la 50e minute par Soufiane Raimi sur une magnifique passe en retrait de Adam Enafati. À la 70e minute, Hamza El Moussani marque le 3e but marocain suite à une erreur de la défense ougandaise. À la 84e minute, les Ougandais vont sauver l'honneur en inscrivant leur 2e but de la compétition par Sedi Kiyun. Côté marocain, le but de Raimi à moins de 10 minutes de fin et celui de Abdelila Afiti vont permettre aux siens de s'imposer sur le score de 5-2. Dans le classement, le Maroc termine leader de la poule C avec 7 points, suivi du Rwanda avec 5 points après sa victoire d'hier sur le Togo 3-2 au Limbi Stadium. En quart de finale, les Lions de l'Altas retrouveront l'équipe classée 2e du groupe D. Pour ce soir, le tableau affiche Tanzanie contre Guinée à 20h au stade de la réunification, puis Namibie-Zambie à la même heure, mais au Limbi Stadium. Pour l'instant, l'on n'attend plus que les résultats pour cette 3e journée du groupe D.
That's it for today's edition of Prime News on My Media Prime. We benefited from the technical expertise of Ewane Eli Nolinga with coordination from Lasha Kingsley. My name is Gienda Pelju Blanche King. See you tomorrow at 6:30 Cameroon time for another edition of Prime News on My Media Prime. Right after now, we have Prime Hour with Cum Leonard. Happy viewing and good night.